Hello everyone! Welcome back to my video discussion, and now we are going to proceed another topic, so let's start it.
So let's go to Customs Memorandum Order number 47-1991. This is Guidelines in the Implementation of CAO number 9-80, which is treating price tags and labels as tax-exempt importations. So we have here two objectives. First is to effectively implement CAO number 9-80 and to properly monitor and control importations of price tags and labels sent on consignment to be attached to finished products for export. So let's go to the administrative provisions. We have here, this order shall apply to importations of price tags and labels sent on consignment on a non-charge basis to be attached finished products for export, and the said importation shall be treated as falling within the purview of Section 105 of the Tariff and Customs Code of the Philippines as amended. So we have here the general conditions for the shipment to be allowed duty and tax-free. So we have here, the importer must be a customs-bonded manufacturing warehouse operator of export finished products in which the imported price tags labels will be attached. Second, the imported price tags labels are sent to consignment of a non-charge basis by or for its principal abroad. Third, the price tags or labels are imported solely for attachment to finished products for export and not for sale or barter. So we have here number 4, which is allowable limit. Each consignment of price tags or labels shall be for one export order from the principal, so the value of which shall not exceed $100 per consignment. Otherwise, the release thereof may be authorized only upon posting of a re-export bond in an amount equal to 1.5 times the estimated duties and taxes conditioned for its exportation, or payment of the corresponding duties and taxes within 8 months from the date of acceptance of the covering import entry, which period is not extendable. So let's go to the documentary requirements. So in addition to the usual documentary and requirements for filing an entry, so here are the following documents required, which is here a sworn statement from a responsible official of the company with a rank of at least Vice President, and addressed to the District Collector of Customs with the following information. So here, the first information is its name and office address, and the kind of nature of the product it manufactured for export. The second is the address of the establishment or place where its export products are manufactured. Next, the imported price tags or labels are sent to consignment or a non-charge basis. Next, the price tags labels are imported solely for attachment to finished products for export and not for sale or barter. So we have here the operational procedure. We have here a sample of the price tags labels shall be attached to the pertinent import entry and a certificate of identification which shall be issued before its release to serve as basis for comparison, and the identification to be done prior to the exportation as provided for in the paragraph below. So here is the paragraph below. The finished products with imported price tags labels already attached thereto shall be examined prior to the packing and exportation, and the price tags labels identified as those entered under the covering import entry. A certificate of identification shall be issued by the customs officer concerned if the price tags or labels attached to the certificate of identification issued upon importation matches those attached on the finished products for export. So let's go to Customs Administrative Order 3-2002. So the subject here is treatment of price tags and labels. So pursuant to Section 608 and to engendered competitiveness of domestic industries and facilitate their participation pursuant to Section 608 and to engender and competitiveness of the domestic industries and facilitate their participation. Oh, mali na naman. Pursuant to Section 608 and to engender competitiveness of domestic industries and facilitate their participation in international trade as mandated by Republic Act 7844 or Export Declaration Act of 1994, in paragraph 2 of CAO 9-80 is hereby amended to read as follows. So here is that each consignment of price tags or labels shall be for one export order from the principal, so the value of which shall not exceed $300 per consignment. Otherwise, the release thereof may be authorized only upon posting of a re-export ban in an amount equal to 200% of estimated duties and taxes within 6 months from the date of acceptance of the covering import entry, which period is not extendable. So this order shall take effect 15 days after its publication in newspaper of general circulation. So let's go to Customs Memorandum Order number 50-91. So it is the guidelines in the implementation of CAO number 2-81 treating samples as tax-exempt importation. So we have here the objectives, which is to effectively implement CAO 2-81 and to properly monitor and control importations treated as samples or models to be copied for costing prior to placing orders. So here is the administrative or general provisions. So the order shall take apply to importations of samples or models to be copied for costing to placing orders. Importations of samples or models to be copied for costing prior to placing orders shall be treated as falling within the purview of Section 105 of the Tariff and Customs Code of the Philippines as amended and shall be considered tax-exempt importations if rendered unsaleable or of no appreciate commercial value. Next is the general conditions for the shipment to be allowed duty and tax-free. So here is the general conditions. So first is the importer must be a customs manufacturing warehouse operator. Next is this is a definite need for a sample or model to obtain an order or clinch a sale. So number 4, we have here the allowable quantity. So the allowable quantity for samples or models shall be 1 for each particular kind, and the value of each shipment shall not exceed $200 US. So let's go to the documentary requirements. So a sworn statement from a responsible official of the company with a rank of at least Vice President addressed to the District Collector of Customs with the following information. So same as we read earlier. So here first is firm's name and office address and the place where the sample or model will be copied. Next is there is a need for the sample or model to be copied or duplicated. Next, the sample or model will not be sale or barter or hire. And lastly, the value of the shipment. So let's go to the Customs Memorandum Order number 71-91. We have here the amendments to CMO number 95-90, which is annual supervision fee. So the following provisions of CMO number 95-90 are hereby amended as follows. So we have here in section 3.6, which is warehouse supervision fee. So in the operation of a customs bonded warehouse, an annual supervision fee shall be collected from the owner or operator as follows. So we have here for small industry Our enterprise, we have here 50,000 pesos. For medium industry enterprise, 100,000 pesos. For large industry or enterprise, we have here 250,000 pesos. So for common or trading banded warehouse, public banded warehouse, duty-free main warehouse, regardless of their total assets, we have here 250,000 pesos. And for every banded warehouse extension, including store outlets in addition to the supervision fee prescribed above, we have 50,000 pesos. Let's go to Customs Memorandum Order number 85-91. We have here authority for return shipments of banded raw materials and accessories. So the objectives here is to streamline the procedure and documentary requirements concerning return shipments of imported raw materials and accessories. Next, to expedite the return shipments of imported banded raw materials and accessories. So we have here the general provisions. First is the banded warehouse. The banded manufacturing warehouse operators may request for reshipment of raw materials and accessories to its foreign supplier in cases they are defective, substandard, or not in accordance with a given specification. So that is first. Second is clearance to reshipment must be requested from the district or port collector through the operating division. Third, unless directed by the commissioner or the district collector, raw materials and accessories shall no longer be dispatched by CIIS or other offices of the Bureau of Customs. Next, in case of textile and related accessories, request for reshipment shall be approved by GTEB. Last, members of common banded manufacturing warehouse shall file a request to re-export through the operator of CBMW. So let's go to Customs Memorandum Order number 95-91, and this is amendments to sections 2.1.2 and 2.1.3.1 of CMO number 39-91. So we have here the 2.1.2, which is requirements for accreditation of subcontractor. So a firm may be accredited as subcontractor of a banded manufacturing warehouse by filing an application with the collector of customs having jurisdiction over the warehouse, accompanied with the following documents. So these are the following documents below. First is the photocopy of certificates of registration, articles of incorporation, and bylaws. In case of partnership or sole proprietorship, so the certificate of registration with the Bureau of Domestic Trade. Second is audited of interim financial statement for the last 2 years immediately preceding the date of application. The third documents is applicant's income tax return for the last 2 years. Last is service agreement. So we have here also the 2-1.3.1, which is requirements of accreditation for membership to a common banded manufacturing or trading warehouse. So we have here number 2.1.3.2, requirements of accreditation for membership to a common banded manufacturing or trading warehouse. So here a person, natural or juridical, who is an expert producer may apply for membership to a common banded manufacturing or trading warehouse by filing an application with the district collector of customs having jurisdiction over the warehouse, accompanied with the above documents in addition to following. So we have here the addition documents. List of materials to be imported. Second, formula of manufacturing certified by the Industrial Technology Development Institute. If garment, the formula should be approved by GTEB. Third is the brochure of label or products to be manufactured. So let's go to Customs Administrative Order number 2-91, and this is rules and regulations for the establishment, operations, supervision, and control of customs banded warehouse. So we have here Title 1, which is the general provisions. So in Section 1, the Bureau of Customs is responsible for the licensing, supervision, and control of all customs banded warehouses. So in Section 2, articles manufactured by any banded manufacturing warehouse shall be exported, exempted from payment of duties and taxes. So in Section 3, imported materials, accessories used in the manufacture of articles that are transferred to other banded manufacturing warehouses or members of a common banded manufacturing warehouse for processing into finished products for its own manufacturer shall be exempted from paying any duties and taxes. So in Section 4, imported materials or accessories and the like, if sold or used for domestic consumption, so that is subject for duties and taxes and other charges. So in Section 5, all imported articles or finished products shall either be exported or withdrawn for domestic consumption. So we have here in Section 6 the classifications of customs banded warehouse. So in Section 6, we have here the classifications of customs banded warehouse. So first is the customs banded manufacturing warehouse. So when we say customs banded manufacturing warehouse, it is a facility established for the manufacture of products utilizing raw materials or components that are imported, duty and tax-free conditioned on the exportation of the finished products within the period prescribed herein. And it is divided into garment textile, which is licensed by the executive, miscellaneous manufacturing banded warehouse, which is licensed by the Bureau of Customs, and common banded manufacturing warehouse, which is licensed by the Bureau of Customs and also by GTIB. So let's go to number 2, which is the public or private banded warehouse. And number 3, which is the customs common trading warehouse. And number 4 is the multinational regional warehouse. So let's go to Customs Administrative Order number 5-91. This is amended rate schedule on the imposition of surcharge for breach of band. So we have here the objectives: to further accelerate the liquidation of import entries and cancellation of bans or charges covering imports and or provide the necessary control thereof. So we have here the administrative provisions, which is the pursuant to the provision of Section 608 in relation to Section 602 and 212.04 of the Tariff and Customs Code of the Philippines. The following are amended rate schedule on the importation of surcharges for breach of ban. So we have here in letter B, which is late submission of change of immigration status and permanent residency. So we have here if late, and number 1, 20% of duties and taxes and other charges if paid within 30 days from date of expiration. Number 2, 25% if paid within 31 to 60 days from expiration date of the chargeable bans. Number 3, 25% if paid within 61 to 90 days from expiration date, and 40% if paid within 91 to 120 days from expiration date. Next is 50% if paid within 121 to 150 days from expiration date. Then the last is the penal amount if a ban if required document is not submitted after 6 months, counted from the expiration date of the chargeable ban or bans.